What if your 3D printing wasn't restricted to a single shade? What if filament waste wasn't a concern? I've spent 2 months with the Snapmaker U1 Beta Unit, and for the first time in a while as a maker in this space, I felt something. A spark. Imagination free of monochrome. The road wasn't always smooth, marred with moments of frustration. Still, the Snapmaker U1 is the innovation that this space needed. It's a milestone moment. While working on this video, I realized that I don't want this to sound like a review, at least not a traditional one. After all, this is a pre-production beta unit, and YouTube already brims with hands-on reviews, tear-down spec sheets, and even deep dives into single features. I want to try something a little different. As a beta tester, artist, and lover of retro gaming and nostalgia, I want to share how the Snapmaker U1 stirred my soul, weaving into my workflow like a quiet muse, transform my visions into reality, unlocking possibilities I could only dream of a few years ago. Before we get into that, I think it's worth a quick rundown to touch on the basics of the U1. It boasts a core XY motion system, printing up to 300 millimeters per second, with travel speeds hitting 500 millimeters per second, and comes with a 270 millimeter cube build volume. The U1 features 4 tool heads, each designed to connect to a carriage assembly through pogo pins, each rated for 250,000 reliable swaps per tool head. Their stainless steel nozzles, more durable than brass, reach 300 degrees Celsius. A filament waste bin ensures tidiness. A heated print bed with PEI plate securely holds prints without needing glue. Well, usually. And the auto filament feeder works almost like magic. Curious about the auto loading system? My friend Wombly at Wombly Wonders dives deep, link below. Yet specs on paper don't mean much. It's more about how everything comes together, having a novel experience, that spark of creation in Technicolor, the thrill of creating something in front of your very eyes that makes the U1 exciting. Daytona USA roared into the arcades in 1994 and into my heart as a kid. Arcades were my sanctuary of blinking lights. With the Snapmaker U1, I crafted a 1:8 scale stand-up cabinet, each printed layer a time machine to the 90s. Watching it take shape, I felt like I was reliving all those races again. This print, towering near the U1's height limits, sparked a grander vision, a 1:8 scale arcade parlor with 30 to 40 working machines, each with a story. Perhaps I'll make it a series, each video a love letter to a classic game. This isn't a complex model, nor a kaleidoscope of hues, so the artwork should be relatively easy to print. Using QForge, I was able to mostly color match the cabinet's iconic artwork, and the U1 rendered it near flawless, save for a slight blemish on one corner due to an adhesion issue, a strong reminder to recalibrate the print bed in periodic intervals. I designed the artwork as inlays to the arcade cabinet. They're easy to install and are a perfect fit, an example of the accuracy and repeatability of the machine. The next step is to install an LCD screen, but perhaps that will be for another video. Standing tall and vibrant with color, I felt a rush of pride. The U1 didn't just print an arcade cabinet, it captured the essence of the 90s arcade era, delivering a creation so close to my vision that I stood awestruck, holding a piece of my past made real. Next, a 1:6 scale Silent Hill figurine, Hinako Shimizu, a spectral vision that claimed 40 print hours, my longest dance with the Snapmaker U1. In Orca Slicer, I poured hours into painting the model, being mindful of the colors I would choose. Each stroke a careful dance within the printer's limits and what I had available, coaxing Hinako's form to life. The body, sectioned off into pieces, were printed at 0.2 millimeter layer height. Her head printed alone at 0.08 millimeters, capturing as much detail as possible from the source model. The stepped base, a labyrinth to paint, digitally tested my resolve. Would its subtleties shine through, is what I asked myself. After 20 hours of printing, the U1 answered with breathtaking clarity, weaving details that surpassed my hopes. Assembling everything was a simple affair, a few drops of glue, and she was standing tall. This figure almost has no right looking this good, yet it could go further if one is willing to hand brush extra details to deepen its allure. This revelation of the U1 handling the more predominant colors, while I could later go in and paint additional details, honestly has redefined my creative path and workflow, merging digital hues with old-school tactile artistry. Next, I raced into nostalgia with 4 F-Zero cars, each barely larger than a quarter, a daring test of the Snapmaker U1's ability to print miniatures. These Super Nintendo-inspired racers, vivid in their simple hues, emerged pristine, their bold designs a perfect match for the U1's multicolor prowess. I ventured further, crafting a racetrack and backdrop in HueForge to capture that 90s pixelated thrill. The results? Fantastic. These tiny speedsters were one of the more popular prints amongst family and friends. They sparked a shared nostalgia, reminding us all of simpler days. The U1 didn't just bring my retro visions to life, it did so with heart, and it touched others too. Lastly, I ventured into the warp with an Invincible-class battlecruiser from Warhammer 40k, a model crafted specifically for resin printers, its delicate antennas and turret guns, a challenge for the U1. Yet, I dared to try. I used PVA filament for supports, meant to soften and break apart in warm water that would spare the cruiser's details. Though while printing, I noticed specks of PVA on the print bed, which hinted at trouble. It gets brittle when it's too dry, and finicky when wet. My fresh spool, however, still defied me. Dunking the model in a bucket of water, supports gave way, but scars lingered where the PVA faltered, a reminder of its temperamental nature. Still, where supports held, the U1 amazed, crafting details so fine that it rivaled resin at half arm's length. This was a revelation. With some fine-tuning and paired with the upcoming 0.2mm nozzle, the U1 could challenge the domain of resin printers in certain scenarios, expanding my creative horizons. My journey as a U1 beta tester has been quite a ride. A few fallen prime towers and a tool head that didn't always park right caused some frustration, but my experience has been overwhelmingly positive. When the U1 arrived, its firmware was undercooked with bugs and missing features, but subsequent updates smoothed it out nicely. It fits my workflow perfectly now, using PLA, though it also handles a handful of other filaments, including TPU. Curious about TPU? My friend Danny at Neokoi Prints has some great YouTube shorts showing how the U1 nails it. It's amazing. Link below. So, should you buy one? It depends. I've only used a beta unit, so I can't technically endorse a production model, but I expect it'll be even better based on conversations I've been a part of with Snapmaker. Hey Snapmaker, I'd love to compare my beta unit to a production one in a future video. If we can make that happen, I'm down for that. Anyway, I love this printer. It's my favorite new tool this year, and perfect for my creative needs. Other FDM printers might match its accuracy and reliability, and some cheaper ones do multicolor, but they're not tool changers. Expect heaps of filament waste and much longer print times with those. With an MSRP of $999, the U1 stands alone. No other printer I know ticks all its boxes. For creators like me, it's a game changer sparking endless possibilities. And maybe it will be for you too.